I welcome you all on behalf of Telangana State Yoga Jana Parishad and Department of Ayush for our training sessions on Common Yoga Protocol designed for International Day of Yoga and awareness programs on naturopathy and yoga therapy in prevention, mitigation, and rehabilitation of COVID 19. Today, we'll start our session with Common Yoga Protocol, followed by awareness program on principles of naturopathy medicine by Dr. S. Sridevi. She is a faculty of Gandhi Naturopathic Medical College. I request all the sadhakas to follow the treatment modalities shown in awareness programs as adjuvant therapies in addition to the standard protocol of treatment advised by ICMR. Now we'll start the session.
Sit in any meditative posture. Keep your back straight. Both the hands in Chin Mudra. Close your eyes. Adopt deep breathing. Relax your mind and body. Prepare yourself for practicing yoga. Join your both palms together in Namaskar Mudra. Sangachakvam Samvadhatvam Samgo Manamsi Janatam Devabhagam Yadha Purve Sanyanana Upasate Sanyanana Upasate Sanyanana Upasate. Rub your palms. Keep it on your eyes. Release your hands. Slowly open your eyes. Come up and stand. We'll go for the loosening exercises. Both the legs, 1 feet gap. Both the hands on waist. Place your chin on chest. While inhaling, raise your neck up, drop it completely back. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhale, center. Now sideward looking. Take a deep breath. While exhaling, look on your right. As you inhale, back to the center. As you exhale, look on your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Center. Exhale, left. Inhaling, center. Relax. Now, release your hands. Both the hands on shoulder level. Palms turning up. Inhale. Fingers on shoulders, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhaling up, exhale down, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now hands on sideways, inhale up, exhale down, inhaling up, exhale down, inhale up, exhaling down, inhaling. Now, turn your both shoulders, start rotating your shoulder. This will strengthen your shoulder, improve your upper body strengthening. Reverse, reverse. 1, 2, 3. Relax, relax. Drop your hands down, relax. Now, trunk movement. Both the hands up, palms facing each other. Now we are going to practice Khati Chakrasana. Initially, we'll move the shoulders. Inhale, look on your right. While inhaling, center. Exhaling, look on your left. Inhaling, center. Exhaling, look on your right. Inhaling, center. Exhaling, left. Look back. Twist your spine. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale on your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, look on your left. Inhale, center. Drop your hands down. Relax. Now get ready for the knee movement. Hands up. Inhale. While exhaling, go down. Keep your spine straight. Look straight. Inhale up. Exhale down. This will improve your knee movement. Inhale up and also strengthens your calf muscles, thighs. Exhale down. Those who are suffering from arthritis, do not practice this asana. Inhaling up. Drop your hands. Relax. Now we are going to practice standing asana. Initially Thadasana. Both the legs hip width or else your comfortable level. While inhaling, raise your hands up. Hands up. Stretch your arms up. Stretch your whole body. Look straight. Stretch your arms. Your arms should touch your ear. It should not touch your head. Exhale down. Anybody can practice this asana. Inhaling up. This will strengthen your whole body and also improve your body posture. Relax. Now get ready for Purna Thadasana. Hands in front. Hands in front. Interlock your fingers. Stretch your palms out. Inhaling. Raise your hands up. Heels up. Come on toes. Focus on one point. This will improve your concentration power and also improves balance. Exhale down. We'll practice this again. Inhaling up. Those who are suffering from knee pains, ankle joint surgeries or fractures, do not practice this asana. Up and also improves your blood circulation. Exhale down. Release your hand. Relax. Now get ready for the Vrikshasana. Slowly release your right leg. Shift your whole body balance on your left leg. Release your right leg. Place it on left leg inner thigh. Once you get the balance, slowly release your hand. Raise your hands up. Put the hands in Namaskar Mudra. Look straight. Focus on one point. Slowly drop your hands down. Release your leg. Now same with the left leg. Release your left leg. Place it on right inner thigh. Slowly hands up. Hands in Namaskar Mudra. This will improve your concentration, stretches your whole body, and also improves spine flexibility. Those who are suffering from knee pains or any injuries, do not practice this asana. Release, release your hand. Those who cannot able to stand on their single leg, they can also take your wall support and can practice this asana. Right. Now we are going to practice Pada Hastasana. Both the legs, half feet gap. Raise your hands up. Exhaling, go down. Hold your toes. Hold your toes. This will strengthen your back and also stretches your thigh muscles, calf muscles. Inhaling up, exhaling, go down. Now, place your palms next to the feet. Touch your forehead to the knees. Should not bend your knees. This will also focuses in on your abdomen. Inhaling up. We'll practice this again. Exhale down. Place your hands next to the feet. Touch your knees with your forehead. Inhaling up. Release your hand. Now Ardha Chakrasana, counter pose for the Pada Hastasana. Both the hands on waist. Inhaling, bend back. Push your hips forward. Bend back. This will stretches your whole back and release back pain and strengthens your back. It also stretches your throat region. Center. We'll practice this again. Inhale, bend back. Good for snoring problem, thyroid. Slowly back to the center. Release your hand. Relax. Turn. Now get ready for the Trikonasana. Flip your both legs apart, hands on the shoulder level. Turn your right feet towards the right side. Take a deep breath. While exhaling, slowly bend on your right side. Left palm up. Focus on your left palm. You should not lean forward or backward. Movement should come from sides of your waist. Slowly up. Turn your right foot to the center. Now turn your left feet to left side. Slowly bend on your left. It stretches your thighs, calf muscles, and also reduces your side tummy fat. Inhaling up, turn your left foot to the center. Now turn your right foot to right side. Exhale, bend, bend, look up. Inhaling up. Now left to left, left, look up. Trikonasana. Your right hand, and left leg should be in one line. Inhaling up, release, release your posture, relax, sit, sit in Dandasana, stretch your legs out. Now get ready for the Bhadrasana. Fold your both knees, join your soles of feet together. Hold your toes, keep your back straight, look straight. Deep breath, exhale completely, look straight. This will strengthen your thigh muscles and lower back. This is a good hip opener. Those who are suffering from hamstring stiffness, if you regularly practice this, your hip will be flexible. Release your hand, stretch out your legs, stretch out your legs. Now slowly come into Vajrasana. Fold your both knees, sit on your heels, place your palms on your knees, look straight. Vajrasana is good for digestion power. It relieves constipation. Keep your back straight. Those who are suffering from knee pains, ankle joint pains, do not practice this asana. Now we are going to practice Ardha Ustrasana. Slightly feet apart, knees apart, both the hands on your waist. Inhale, come on your knees, stand on your knees. While inhaling, slowly bend back. While inhaling, slowly bend back. Give a gentle movement in your waist. Exhale. Exhale, release your posture. Sit on your heel. Inhaling up. Slowly bend back. Bend back. This will strengthen your whole back. Slowly come to the center. Sit on your heel. Now get ready for Purna Ustrasana. Stand on your heel. Release your hands. Release your hands. Now get ready for Purna Ustrasana. Raise your hands one by one. Hold your ankle. Hold your ankle. Cover your feet with the palms. Bend back completely. This will strengthen your shoulders, back, thigh muscles, and it also stretches your neck. Good for thyroid, double chin, snoring problem. Slowly come up. Release your posture. Release your hands one by one. Sit on your heel. Now get ready for Shashankasana. Knees apart, toes together, hands by the sideways. Slowly inhaling, raise your hands up. Exhaling, drop your palms on the floor, bend forward. Chin should be rest on the floor. Look straight. Shashankasana, rabbit posture, good for back pain and also improves your hip flexibility. Those who are suffering from knee pain or arthritis do not practice this asana. This problem as well as slowly come up, inhaling up, release your hand. Now we'll practice this again. Slowly, hands up, exhale, bend forward, chin to the floor, look straight. Slowly up, inhaling up, release your hand. Now get ready for the Utthana Mandukhasana. Knees apart as much as possible. Open your knees. Raising from posture. Inhale. Raise your hands up. Fold your elbows. Place it on your neck or shoulder. Look straight. Look straight. This will strengthen your back. Good for spondylitis. And also release stiffness. For the Vrikshasana, get your both legs together. Release your hand. Bend your right knee. Right hand back. With the left elbow, push your right knee towards the tummy. Inhaling, look back. Exhaling, look center. Inhale, look back. Exhale, look forward. Inhale, look back. Inhale, center. Inhale, center. Release your hand. Release your hand. Release your leg. Stretch out your right leg. Bend your left knee. Left hand back. With the right elbow, push your left knee towards the tummy. Place your right palm next to the left feet. Inhaling, look back. Exhaling, look forward. Look front. Inhale, look back. Exhale, look front. Inhale, look back. Exhale, look front. Release your hands. Release your posture. Stretch out your legs. Lie down in Shavasana. Legs apart. Hands apart. Both the palms turning up. Get your legs together. Hands close by the body. Raise your right hand up. Turn on your right side. Come into Maksasana. Legs apart. Toes sideways. Both the hands cross under the chin or forehead. Relax. Relax. Now, get ready for Bhujangasana. Both the palms. Release your palms. Get your both legs together. Get your both legs together. Now both the palms on your face level. Elbows and palms on the floor. Chin rest on the floor. While inhaling, slowly come up. Raise your chin and upper body up. Inhaling up. Your elbows and shoulders should be same line. Exhale down. Inhaling up. Look up. Bhujangasana. Everybody can practice this asana. Bhujangasana release all your back pain and stiffness from your back. Exhale down. Exhale down. Exhale down. Now, Sarala Bhujangasana. Both the palms on chest level. Inhaling up to navel region up. Remember, you should not raise your hip region up. Both the elbows slightly bending. Look up. Focus on your L4, L5. Slowly drop your head down. Those who are suffering from severe backache and lumbar disc problem do not practice full Bhujangasana. They can go with the Ardha Bhujangasana. We'll practice this again. Inhaling up, up. Exhaling down. Exhaling down. Release your hand. Now we are going to practice Shalabhasana. Release your hand. Place your both palms under the thighs. Initially, we'll practice Shalabhasana with single leg. Raise your right leg up as much as possible. Do not bend your knee. Drop it down. Now, raise your left leg up. Shalabhasana, good for sciatica. Exhale down. Now, we'll practice Purna Shalabhasana. Put your both legs together. Inhale, raise your both legs up. Those who are having severe backache problem, do not practice this with both legs. Up, they can go with the single leg raising. Do not bend your knees. Stretch your toes out. Exhale down. Shalabhasana, good for sciatica and lower back pain. And also strengthens your thighs, calf muscles, hips. Inhaling up. Inhale up. Exhale down. Down. Relax. Release your hand. Relax in Makarasana. Release your hand. Turn on your right. Come into Shavasana. Come into Shavasana. Legs apart, hands apart. Put your both legs together. Hands close by the body. Now, we are going to practice Setu Bandhasana. Bend your both knees. Hold your ankle. Those who are not able to hold their ankle, they can place palms on the floor. Inhaling, slowly lift your hip up as much as possible. Exhale, slowly down. Setubandhasana is also helpful for back pain and strengthens your back, thighs, calf muscles. Inhaling up. Inhaling up. Exhale down. We'll practice this one more time. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Release your hands. Stretch out your legs. Now, get ready for the Utthana Padasana. Those who are having back pain, they can place pillow under the hip, or else you can place your palms under the hip. Get your both legs together. Those who are healthy enough, you can place your palms next to the hip, palms on the floor, palms on the floor. Get ready for Utthana Padasana. Initially, we'll go with the single leg raising. Inhale. While exhaling, raise your right leg up to 30 degrees. Raise your right leg up to 30 degrees. Stretch your toes 60 degrees. Slowly down 30 degrees on the floor. Same with the left leg on 30 degrees, 60 degrees. Slowly drop it down 30 degrees on the floor. Now put your both legs together. Get ready for the both leg raising. Utthana Padasana. Those who are suffering from backache, do not practice this with both legs. Take deep breath while exhaling. Raise your both legs up to 30 degrees, 60 degrees. Slowly drop it down. This is good for your thighs, calf muscles, and lower back. And it also concentrates your abdomen and also reduces your belly fat. We'll practice this one more time. Both the legs on 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees. Focus on your toe. This is the Ardha Halasana posture. Slowly, both the legs on 60 degrees, 30 degrees on the floor. Relax. Now get ready for the Pavana Muktasana. Raise your both legs up to 45 degrees and bend your both knees. Take it closer to the chest. Hold your knees with the palms. Gently press your both knees to the chest level. Those who are suffering from the neck pain, do not raise your neck up or else raise your head up. Touch your chin to the knees or forehead. Wind release posture. Drop your head down. It will release all the toxins from your abdomen and stretches your back and stretches your thighs. Good for gastric problems. We'll practice this again. Both the legs on 45 degrees. Fold your knees. Hold it. Gently press it. As much as possible, raise your head up. Those who are suffering from severe back problem and arthritis, do not practice this asana. Hernia, stomach ulcers as well as head down. Release your hands. Stretch out your legs. Drop it down. Relax in Shavasana. Take a deep breath. Exhale completely. Get your both legs together. Hands close by the body. Raise your right hand up. Bend your left knee. Turn on your right. Slowly come up and sit. Sit in any meditative posture. Keep your back straight. Padmasana, Vajrasana, Sukhasana, Ardha Padmasana. Keep your back straight. Now get ready for the pranayama. We'll start with Kapalabhati. In Kapalabhati, active exhalation. While exhaling, you should pull your abdomen in and your exhalation should be like throats. Those who are beginners, they can go with the 20 strokes for each inhalation. Those who are practicing regularly, they can go for the 60 strokes. Inhale, relax. Inhale, exhale, exhale, exhale. Relax. Now get ready for the Nadi Shodhan Pranayama or Anulom Vilom Pranayama. Left hand in Chin Mudra, right hand Nasika Mudra. Bend your index and middle finger. Place your thumb on your right nostril. Inhale from the left nostril. Close your left nostril with ring finger. Exhale from your right nostril. Inhale from right. Exhale from your left. This is one round. You can practice Nadi Shodhan Pranayama as your convenient. You can go with 3 rounds, 5 rounds, 9 rounds, 11 rounds, your wish. And you can also practice Nadi Shodhan Pranayama in the morning or in the night. All the pranayamas relaxes your mind and body, and improves oxygen observing in your body, and also improves your lungs capacity. Inhale, exhale, inhale from right, exhale from left. Release your hand. Put the hands in Chin Mudra. Now we are going to practice Sikali Pranayama. Tongue out. Hold your tongue like straw. Inhale from the mouth. Feel the chillness in your mouth. Close your mouth. Exhale from nostrils. This is good in summer to balance heat levels in your body. Inhale through mouth. Exhale from the nostrils. Inhale. Close your mouth. Exhale from the nostrils. Relax. Now we are going to practice Bhramari Pranayama. You should chant like a Bhramari. Release your hands. Shanmukhi Mudra. Index finger on your eye. Middle finger on your nostrils. Ring finger down the nostrils. Little finger on the chin. Place your thumb on the ear. Remember, you should not completely close your ear. Give a gentle pressure. Release your middle finger. Inhale while exhaling. Makara chanting. Inhale. Sounds like a B. Inhale. Release your hand. Relax. Sitting Dhyana Mudra, Chin Mudra. Calm down your breath. Brahmari activates your head nerve, and it will also activate your brain. Relax. Continue with deep breath. Over to Dr. Mallikarjun, sir.
Now we'll start our awareness program on principles of naturopathy medicine by our faculty, Dr. Sridevi from Gandhi Naturopathic Medical College.
Namaste, sir. Hello, everybody. I invite you for the webinar which I'm going to give you on principles of naturopathy, benefits, aims, and modalities which we are going to implement in the naturopathic system. Naturopathy is a system with certain principles which aims at the total well-being of the individual, and these principles are for both for the individual and also for the naturopathy physician. And the basic thing is do no harm, because this is pertaining to our thoughts, pertaining to our actions, and which we are going to preach and also implement in our system of living, because this is the most positive attitude that will bring the forbearance in our attitude. And the second one is the healing power of nature. That is, one has to believe the healing processes and the healing power of nature, which is within the core and also in ambience. That means the utilizing the nature's resources, we are going to heal and gain immunity and fitness with the natural resources as an adjuvant therapy, as a system of living. And then we have the identify the root cause of the disease. Naturopathy doesn't treat the symptom, it is aims at the root cause of the disease. So it can be acute or chronic. To identify the root cause of the disease is the main feature and treat in accordingly with the root cause of the disease. And then we have the another most important principle, doctor as a teacher. Naturopathy physician is not only a doctor, he is also a teacher, propagator, and he aims at the total well-being of the individual. So here the naturopathy physician is supposed to educate the patient for the total well-being during sickness, healthiness, and also for the total fitness and gaining immunity through the natural resources. Understanding one's own physiology, this is the main feature of naturopathy, which our father of medicine, Hippocrates, also has advocated the then people, that is, somewhere in BC. So the next one will be the preventive aspects. The system of following of naturopathy itself is towards the prevention of so many disorders. So nowadays we have so many lifestyle disorders which we are facing with, and because of lack of immunity and lack of knowledge, the preventive aspect is not up to the understanding capacity. So the main duty of the naturopathic physician is for the prevention of the diseases by following the naturopathy. So here also is a propagation for the naturopathic followers to how to follow the system as a preventive aspect. So now coming to the benefits of naturopathic system. What one gains through following the naturopathy system. Naturopathy focuses on the prevention of the disease. As I have told already, the preventive aspect is more important by following naturopathy. Means believing in the natural resources and causative factors, what is happening as in the physiology of one's body. So that should be identified, get education, and believing in the applying of the natural healing systems and eliminate the disease causing factors. And in naturopath not only treats the health challenging but also provides clear strategies to the patients like how to improve their health, immunity, and fitness through the natural resources. So, most of the diseases, when we talk about the skin conditions, allergies, migraine, that is the vascular headache, so these are all can be treated through the natural resources by bringing back the neurohumoral balance in the body by giving the, the patient an education and also assist the patient with the prevalent health conditions and also educate the patient to overcome these conditions, detoxify his own body by taking the help of the natural resources. And also, here, a naturopathic physician plays an important role of counseling the patient about his condition, about his dietetics, about his internal system, and how to maintain the physiological balance in the body. So, overall, bringing back to the normal conditions to the possible extent, and also by following the principles how to overcome the degenerative conditions like arthritis or much more conditions like that, maybe some vascular conditions, etc. and etc. And to prevent these conditions up to the possible extent and raising the health strategies. And then we have the most important factor of naturopathy. We may feel what could be these natural therapies. Most of the natural therapies, that means a naturopathy uses usually the non-invasive methods and all natural treatments. These will be in accordance with the physical symptoms, modification of the lifestyle, modification of the dietetic procedures, bringing back to the nourishment to the body and bringing back, giving the wholesome diets and also concentrating more on the natural therapies. And these all therapies are a range of systems which will be more safe to the use of the patient, and these are all evidence based. The patient can follow these procedures after learning from a physician at home in a simple way. All the simple procedures will be educated to the patient during their visit to the naturopathic physician and there how they can implement these methods at home. Now, what is the most important factor that the naturopathy is going to give to the humanity? That is, it advocates mainly at the root cause of the disease. So, already I have discussed about this. And not only identifying the root cause of the disease, but by helping the patient to expel the toxins which are accumulated in the body through the various channels. I can give you one example. It can be through the intestines, kidneys, lungs, through various procedures which are not at all harmful. And by this, the nature, following the nature is the greatest virtue that is going to be healing to the body, and also the human body itself also has the remarkable recuperative powers, regenerative powers. That is the greatest virtue that the human being has, which once identified can overcome and bring back his original physiological mechanisms in the body through the natural procedures, and from disease state to the healthy state. Now coming back to the what are the processes which we take up in the natural nature cure. It has certain principles to bring back to the vital power, energize the body, and overcome the disease. And among them, the most important procedure is rest, relaxation, and the detoxification. As we have already seen through the yogic procedures, the meditation, the deep relaxation techniques, that we have overcome that most of the impurities from the body by driving away through the calmness of the mind. So here there is relaxation of both body and mind, and detoxification of the internal systems through various procedures. Now coming to the naturopathic aim and also the naturopathic modalities of treatment for the healing processes. Now the first and foremost and the most important part for any human being to practice is appropriate diet. Here the naturopathic physician and the system also advises to go for the healthy and nourishing diet. For example, we do not advise folk to go for the junk foods or the refined foods, which may cause the stagnation and also accumulation of toxins in the body. The appropriate diet here, I can give you the example of fresh fruits, vegetables, sprouted grains, which bring back the normal physiological mechanisms and appropriate mechanisms in the system, and also the purify the system with these foods. So not only nourishing the body but also purifying the system. So thereby bringing back to the overall health of the individual. Now the next one is hydrotherapy, treatment with water. Among this also the most important factor is the importance to the sixth proximate principle, that is drinking of water. You may be knowing that water is the main component in the body which has so many activities. So that is why the drinking of water is of utmost importance in the naturopathic system. And here I can enlighten on Ujapana, that is drinking of water in the early morning, almost about half to 1 liter, 1.5 liter within a span of half an hour. So this is actually proved to be of great help in the removal of the toxins from the intestines, from the kidneys initially to start with, and also we will be able to overcome the dehydration by drinking water in this way in the early morning. And early morning drinking of warm water has proved to be most beneficial for the respiratory system also, because it removes the accumulated phlegm or whatever it is in the upper respiratory tract, can be removed by drinking water, warm water in the early morning, and also at the same time most helpful for the removal of the toxins, that is activating the intestines for the elimination, because this is supposed to be the most important factor, because we must have heard, most of us must have heard about the Sarvaroge Malavashye. So the intention of drinking water in the early morning is is mainly because to remove the malas from the body. And also we have so many other therapies. In my previous session I have explained about the chest pack, neutral chest pack, cold chest pack, and hot foot bath, drinking of water, salt water gargling, and also we have the other therapies like steam bath and hip baths, that is cold tub baths, immersion baths, and so on. So all these therapies are non-invasive, not harmful more safer, and under the guidance of naturopathic physician, anybody can learn and implement safely as a home remedies. The next one is well known to you all, yogic exercises and meditation. Not only for the physical fitness, but yogic exercises and meditation is more towards the mental health, because nowadays we have to take up this part as an important factor. When we say health, we also say that it is the overall well-being of the state of well-being of the individual in the physical, moral, mental and spiritual planes of being. So when we talk about the spiritual and mental, then it is coming to the yogic exercises and meditation. So the next part is the manipulative methods wherein we implement the therapeutic massages. That is, it is very much helpful for the overall fitness by increasing the uh, efficacy of the muscles, and also it is helpful in preventing the osteoarthritis. And also, if anybody is suffering from, they can implement this method of treatment for overcoming the day-to-day symptomatic relief. And it is best adjuvant therapy for the arthritic conditions and any other conditions, because it aids in relaxation of the overall body. And also we have the other physical therapies, that is sun bath and mud application. Sun bath already discussed, that is it is most helpful for the vitamin D synthesis, and also it enhances the overall immunity of the body. So every day and everybody can expose. It is very easy procedure for people in India, because we have ample of sunlight throughout the year, unlike the other countries, because they go to the sunlight only in few months. Whereas in India, it is most easily available, so everybody can avail the chance of sunbath in the everyday, day-to-day life. The other one, mud application. Mud application, whether in hot, cold, or warm to the joints, have proved to be best relief in the swelling and also relief from the pain. And mud is also given in the form of packs, that is on the abdomen. When it is given, it helps in the elimination of the toxins by mitigating and enhancing the digestive activity. So that is how we go with the all the natural therapies. Anybody can once get educated and can relieve as an adjuvant therapy. The naturopathy is the best therapy that one can learn and implement in their home as a remedial procedures. And this is the best part of the naturopathy, that you can implement the benefits and learn the procedures to first in front of the naturopathic physician and then implement at home. Thank you one and all. Thank you once again, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
That was a very nice presentation by our faculty. Now we'll end the session. I thank you all the sadhakas for joining with us for the training and awareness programs. Now we'll end the session with the Shanti Mantra.
Both the hands in Namaskar Mudra. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Rub your palm, keep on your eyes, release your palm, slowly open your eyes, do namaskara to your palm, do Bhu namaskara, come up, thank you.